Russia's President Vladimir has put an end to all uncertainties on the existence of the new weapon by announcing the completion of the latest and the strongest weapon of all times. The world's first ever nuclear weapon took place in 1945 in New Mexico, which was when the US tested its first. Ever since, there has been a long race with many countries pledging their important resources to create weapons just as a sign of strength. The effects of the first attack are also, however, not forgotten by many. The first attack on the city of Hiroshima wounded close to 130,000 people in the year they made their first test launch. Within a span of 3 days, another was dropped on Nagasaki, killing 74,000 people and injuring others. This hideous attack leads to the surrender of the country and also resulted at the end of World War II. Even when the use of the weapon leads to the end of the war, the results were far worse than the war itself. The race has never ended, and every country, to ensure that they are safe from any attack, has been making efforts to create nuclear weapons. The technology is most often faced with doubts and criticism. The use of the detectors and other counter technologies ensures that they can call the bluff if need be. The situation for Russia has now changed, as it has shown to the world the nuclear arsenal, which is way ahead of any counter technology. What is Russia's nuclear arsenal? In a response to the existence of the Cold War between USA and Russia, the Russian President Vladimir finally accounted the possession and the lack of barrier to use the nuclear weapon. There have been speculations that Russia is bluffing, which were put to an end when the president announced and included a presentation showing what the weapon could do. The countries hold weapons in power to ensure that they are not the easy target in case of an attack. In a similar attempt, Russia, who was always at warheads with the USA, has now declared that it is ready in case of any war. The fact that Russia cannot compete with the USA in general war styles, the only upper hand it has is with the use of nuclear technology. The USA itself has been far ahead in the possession, and hence Russia wanted something stronger to make that impact. The nuclear arsenal, as claimed by Russia, has many things that are new to the technology itself. Secret test. The fact that the world was not aware of the test of the nuclear weapon raises many concerns. There are no comments from USA whether they were aware of this test or not. The Russian government has accepted that they have tested the missile on the ground and has launched it as well. This has put every country in an easy situation as a secret power is dangerous. Range. The nuclear weapon is known to contain a nuclear propulsion system, which is what the aircraft or submarines use that enable them to travel for long without having to stop for refueling. This leads to the missile strike any target all over the Earth. What makes Arsenal unique? The fact that most of the missiles are identifiable when they fly above the surface of the Earth to reach the target, they can be easily shot down before the attack is made. The counter technology is strong enough to identify a flying missile and will shoot it down in terrains before it reaches the population. What makes Arsenal unique is that it cannot be intercepted. It will travel very close to the ground, and the speed at which it will travel will make it difficult to react in time to defuse it. The US should change its defense strategy quicker if they plan to stay strong against the opposition. This has not been done overnight. The development of such strong weapon must have been in progress over the past many years. The efforts of the same have been a strong response to the hawkish tone that Trump has used in many of his speeches regarding the possession and use of nuclear weapon. Is Arsenal just a bluff? There is no denying the fact that the situation of the Cold War has been established between the two nations. The stand-in case of a war against the USA would be questionable, given the limitation of resources with Russia. This is when we are talking about regular military race. The new presentation that the president has made has changed the whole scenario. The situation has been made clear and arsenal as a military weapon very much in existence and close to undefeatable. The tone of the presentation also stated that the country would not shy away from using it if need be. This shows that Russia is all set for an attack, and with the disclosure has established a very strong position in the whole situation. There are close to 9 countries in the wide world which possess nuclear powers. There are no clear rules on the use and attacks that can be made using the nuclear weapons. There have been many changes in the treaty ever made, and the world has still secretly making tests on nuclear bombs. Till now, the most powerful weapons were owned by the USA. Arsenal launch has put Russia on a platform which cannot be defeated. The world has been surprised at the launch of such bomb. It was common for a missile to operate at the speed, but the crazy part with this one is that it is cruising at a speed not known to any. Even the experts' jaw dropped at the mention, and the speculation have now come alive. Arsenal is nothing close to what anyone would have imagined a nuclear weapon could achieve. The limitless energy allows the weapon to maneuver for months before running out. This means that the power and strength of Arsenal are unmatched for, and the world is definitely in a state of surprise.